but I've consumed so much liquid in the past like 5 hours. I think I didn't drink any tea until around when the tourney started, and I had about a gallon and a half in my pitcher, and I'm all out of tea. I'm making more tea right now. I drank the whole thing. Now I'm just going to drinking water. It's insane. Oh, you timed out. Wait, why'd you time out Fireball? The hell? Oh my god. Alright. Hey, let's go with the bits. Alright. Unfortunately, though, you guys should have waited because, like I said, in the weekend, I'm going to try to get the text-to-speech started up. Alright. Oh boy, here we go. We're back in it. Now we're moving on to... Or hold on, let me get this set up. There we go. Alright, so now we are moving on to the third race. Let me get these tabs sorted because my tabs are kind of conked right now and it's kind of annoying. Let's do that and let's do that. Cool. Alright, so now we're moving on to what is going to be the third race here. And let's get that up. So here's the current situation. One driver eliminated. That is Commando Pack. Unfortunately. RIP. 3 drivers with 1 life remaining already, and I can't see. I think one of them is Armada. Armada left, so like he's basically out at this point. So realistically, it's Phil and Ump. Phil and Ump are the ones on the brink of elimination here at this third track. Playaza. Is that how you pronounce it, Roman? We'll go with that. GK. Really cheesy GK here. Really interesting layout. A track made on the multiplayer map Plaza. I'm a fan of this map for Slayer and whatever that game type is called. Is it called Control? I don't know. Strongholds, that's what it is. Always enjoyed that for comp. But now we're going to be doing a go-kart race on this, which is going to be very, very interesting. So let's get this first heat lined up and underway here. And I got to say, shout out to Real Deal for doing a good job keeping everything in order. Not many, like the downtimes were pretty good for for the type of tournament that this was, and that was never too much of a bother throughout the night, which obviously downtimes, even double headers, or even single races, sometimes downtimes can be really annoying. Even though there's plenty of races and a lot of different tracks raced, not too bad, not too bad. Playaza? Cool. How about I say Playaza? Alright. How do we start this track? I don't even know. I don't remember. Nade? Gunshot? I'm guessing we do a gunshot here. Alright, so gonna begin with the first heat. Remember what I said on the dock. Let me get it up on the side here so I can say that as well. The drivers here in the first heat. Oh my god, it keeps happening. In the first heat, we're gonna have Phil and Ump on the front row, then Slaunch and Roman, and then Detail on the back row. And this is interesting because again, we have the 2 drivers that are on the brink of elimination here, starting at the front row. Remember, that does not necessarily mean that one of these drivers is going to get eliminated, but it could happen here. Alright, let's get it underway. And I think we're going to start with a gunshot, but we'll see what happens. First time this track has been raced, there it is. And I'm going to try this for a little bit and probably switch to onboard at some point. But here we go. Who's going to lead the first lap at this cheesy GK? That I low-key kind of like. I don't know if I'd want this in a schedule, but for this Elim tourney, pretty fun little mix-up track, I think. I know not everybody likes it though. Just like the concepts here, not everybody's gonna enjoy it, but I enjoy it. Looks like we have Ump already to a solid lead. That's good for him, and Phil's still holding on to second, so the 2 drivers on the brink of elimination looking pretty good here the first few laps. And I'm going to go on board. Alright, we'll go on board with Roman. And remember, there's a little booster there, so that makes things a little interesting. Oh, man, even onboard sucks. I'm trying my best, boys. I'm trying my best. Not the best track for viewing. Ump already with a solid lead. Phil holding on to second. And just trying to hold off Detail and Roman here. Detail with potential inside. Gets, like, stuck in the corner. That was weird. And now in jeopardy of losing that position with Slaunch, and does lose the position. So this is going to be tough for Detail. He does not want to lose a life here this early in the tourney. I'd love to go to his view, but this is kind of conky. Alright, we'll go to Slaunch's view. So here's Slaunch. Now he has to try to get by Phil. Oh, but Detail gets the move right there. Slaunch with the outside run, though. Oh, trying to keep it clean. Slosh's still going to hold on to that position, and obviously neither of these two drivers hit Y until it shows the reticle. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Pro tip. This is going to be an interesting one here. Let's go with Yaddle. Oh, that was convenient. I paused it because I didn't think. And look at that. Slosh makes a mistake right there. So now side by side, the way this is working out. Oh, Slosh ran that aggressively. Not trying to lose a life here. Oh, but Detail comes back on the inside. And he just gives it a little bit back. And honestly, I think that's fair play there out of both drivers. Just classic rubbing his racing on a tight go-kart right there. No issue with that, in my opinion, from either driver. So with that, now Slosh is the one in jeopardy of losing a life. Detail is looking safe right here in fourth. Phil in third. And I believe it's still Ump first and then Roman second. I love that, though, that battling there for the survival from those two drivers. And look at this Detail, I think, starting to heat up. Looking pretty quick right here. Potential look on Phil, but not quite able to get it. And if you're Slosh, this is what you want to see. Phil getting Detail into every inside wall right there. Holding him up more and more every corner, which could give Slosh a later opening back into this race. Although there's not that, I wasn't paying attention to the time, but I imagine there's not that much time left. I love this track, though. This track is actually pretty dope. Unique. Detail, just these inside walls not paying off. But this is happening. You can see on the radar, Slosh is inching closer and closer. Something could still happen here. And look at that, Roman must have cheesed, because now Phil's right behind him. This just got really interesting. This just got really interesting. If Roman conks right now, this could be a crazy scenario. Oh, look at this Detail, showing the inside on Phil. Rip. Well, what do you expect? Now let's go to Slosh here because, I mean, he's the one in jeopardy, and this is big. Slosh losing a life this early, probably not expected for many people. Remember, I think he had to start this one in the back, and this is a tough track. You definitely did not want a good finish at the last race going into this one because this is a tough track. Really, I'd say for Detail and Luke, the winners from the previous race, an uphill battle for them, so we'd have to watch how both of them do in the heats, and it looks like Detail here going to just take fourth, potentially, and barely survive. Because Slosh is looking pretty good. Oh, what the hell? Stream's on! Stop! Here we go to Ump. Oh, stop! Alright. Ump in the lead here. Trying to hold on to it. Yeah, it doesn't really matter for the win, but I'm sure he's not going to be too dissatisfied with it. Roman in second. Really, Roman must be fast here. Faster than Ump because he's made a mistake or got on a wall something and has made up a lot of that time. And I think that might be the race there. I'll try to keep track of time for the next one. My bad on that, but yeah, Roman has gotten out of the picture, so I'm assuming that's the race. So it looks like Ump gonna take first. Roman second, Phil third. Detail fourth. Got really close between those three at the end, and unfortunately, way in the somewhere, I think Slosh just knew the life was lost there. Takes home fifth, and that is crazy. Slosh gonna lose a life early on here in the third round, as now the drivers. The next heat gonna come line up. Let me get those results down. So Ump winning a heat. 5 different winners so far. Yeah, I definitely needed to streams on for that one. Alright, let me take a quick drink here. Do a season of tracks that have less than 30-second lap times. Go-kart season. Go-kart and AX season. Actually, didn't I, when I did the plans for like future seasons, didn't I have something like that? I think so. I had the go-kart, but I don't know about the other one. Alright, let me just, okay. I wasn't sure when they were starting. I guess they just started on a certain time, so. And we are going to go with Luke's on board here because he's going to be starting in the back here in this final heat. So already the one in jeopardy here. And let's look at this order we got. We got Hunter, Opix, Vulcan, Real Deal, and Luke. So that's no drivers, I believe, right? No drivers in jeopardy here, right? Yeah. So one driver is going to lose a life here. That's going to make this race interesting. Oh, crap. All right. And I'm going to watch the time. Try to keep track of it. Eight, I'm guessing? Season 14. Okay, yeah. There we go. Oh, man. That first corner, it's already conked. Hunter's going to be off to the early lead. Going to be a big advantage on this track. Oof. Wall contact there for Opix. Four-minute race, I believe, plus a lap. Oh, aggressive move there out of Luke on Opix. And Opix is going to lose that position there and now be in jeopardy. But I'm sure he's not losing hope quite yet because this is a go-kart track. And as we saw from the last heat, conkiness will ensue. Definitely still plenty of time left here. Looked like Hunter just made a mistake there in the lead even. Vulcan and Real Deal getting pretty close for that second place position. Pretty good train right here. You can see Opix in the back view. Luke with potentially a move here on Vulcan. Side by side, they keep it clean. Rubbing it close. Luke with the wall contact. Vulcan actually had a pretty nice run right there. Luke comes back on the inside now. And you can tell Opix in the back just looking for an opportunity here. Just waiting for... Oh, and Hunter with the cheese in the lead. And that is going to shake things up immensely because now he falls all the way back to fourth here. But still in not in jeopardy of being eliminated. Oh, and a bad run there for Luke. This could be tough. Let's get up here with Hunter. Could we see Luke and Slaunch lose a life this early into the tournament? Still plenty of race to go, though. 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And Hunter's looking rough. And the reversal of fortune there for Opix, that was really good for him. Goes from 5th to 3rd. Right place at the right time. Put himself in a good position and just took advantage when the opportunity came up. And oftentimes, those types of situations are what'll win you a tourney like this. Just being patient and waiting for your opening. Because generally, like 99% of the time, there's going to be an opening if you just wait for it. Ooh, Hunter ran that pretty nice that time. Not able to make a move quite yet, though. Looks like Real Deal is taking the lead. Holding on to it from Vulcan right now. Hunter with an aggressive move there on Opix, and that is going to make things... we'll go to Opix's view. Oh, that's going to make things pretty unfortunate there for Opix. He's now going to be in 5th. So now he's back on the brink of elimination. Now it's going to be Luke in 4th, and that's who Opix has to track down. Unless there could be more moves made up here, and you look at that, about a minute and a half left. And look at this, Luke is catching up to Hunter pretty quickly. And this is, if you're Opix, this is probably what you want to see. Oh, and Hunter with another mistake, but right in front of Luke, so not really any moves being made, but definitely time being lost. See how the first corner goes. Hunter's had some pretty rough runs. Able to hold on to it there. Real Deal and Vulcan in the lead, I believe, and Hunter crashes out again right in front of Luke, and they all get held up really hard, and this puts Opix back into the picture, but wasn't able to take advantage that time. Less than a minute remaining. Hunter is just trying to keep this race interesting. Not much time left. Opix in jeopardy. Luke just trying to get by Hunter here. First corner's been rough for Hunter in the past. What happens this lap? Another rough run. There's the opening. And Luke's going to get by Hunter for 3rd. And let's get a view. Let's get a view on Opix here. And now the pressure's on Opix. Not a lot of time remaining. That was a very late race pass there. And if you look at this, Coming down to the final laps here for Opix. He's got, realistically, like maybe a shot or two of trying to save a life. He does not want to lose one this early. I think it may be white flag even coming up here. Got a good line, though. Making a lot of time. He's looking good. Looking faster than Hunter, but he needs to make the move. Hunter does not want to lose it this first corner. Hunter's been roughing it, but he runs it well that time. Opix is probably pissed. Expected him to mess it up, probably make the same move that Luke did, but Hunter ran it well that time. Still more of the track to go, and Hunter makes a mistake again. Cannot recover, and Opix is going to take it on the last lap. Takes it. The clutch pass out of Opix to lose a life for Hunter, and he's yerking after that one. Well expected. God damn it. Real deal, though, in the front, going to take the win. Vulcan hold on to second. And let's go back with a replay, see how close those gaps were at the end. We'll just go like right there as I get the results. So here we go, Kings Canyon GK. I'm really excited to see how this one runs. In this first heat, let's see how it is. We have Slaunch. Remember, he's in jeopardy. Opix, Luke, Vulcan, and Real Deal. So this is interesting, this heat order. The only driver, the one starting on the pole, is Slaunch. That's the only driver in jeopardy here in this heat. Let's see how it goes. Watch the lights, because on this track, first track yet to have lights. Let's get it. When the lights go green or off, we're going to be underway here on Kings Canyon GK. There we go. Green flag. Let's see how this track turns out. Already an aggressive early move from Luke there, trying to get side by side with Slaunch. 3 wide in the back, and sometimes that jump can be hard to make in the first lap if you don't have a good run. Opix and Vulcan going to go down early. Side by side battle for the lead between Luke and Slaunch. This cave will get a little intense here. And it looks like Luke's going to take the lead over Slaunch. Real Deal's in third. Potentially watching this, thinking about making some gains there towards the lead. Vulcan early on in jeopardy of losing a life. We'll have to see how that pans out. Slaunch with a rough run there. Tough corner with that cylinder on the inside. Hard to avoid. Here we go into a chicane as well. And remember, again, I think a decent amount of drivers have seen this track and maybe even taken laps on it, but not all of them have, so that's going to make things interesting. So, first lap down. Luke's going to lead it. Slaunch second. Real Deal third. Going to round out the podium. And Opix and Vulcan still relatively close for 4th and 5th, so we'll keep our eyes on that. We'll go into the cave. Why not? 3 chicanes on this track. I'd say the last one is after each track is finished. Yes. 3 chicanes on this track. I'd argue that in general, like, they get harder as the track goes on, but honestly, I've even seen people cheese the first chicane or the second chicane and not just the third one, so all a little bit different. All making or keeping the track interesting. And another lap down. Luke stretched that gap for the lead. Slaunch second. Real Deal third. Still pretty much the same gap. Opix, I think, gained a bit on Real Deal and Vulcan there. Looks like Opix running a line, not necessarily the fastest, but more so just to make sure he clears that jump. Or maybe he just likes the flow of it, I don't know. Damn, that HRL sign is bright. And here we go to the caves, sponsored by Roman's Bisexuality Lights. I don't know what I'm saying. Another lap down. Slaunch with a little bit of contact on the inside there yet again, but nothing too bad. And this one's surprisingly not that many cheeses so far, and surprisingly fairly spread so far. I did not expect that. But it looks like these drivers are adapting fairly quickly. Definitely some difference in speed, though. But I'm surprised at how well they're all adapting to it. Another lap down. Luke's going to lead again. And Opix, again, going to stay ahead of Vulcan, and that's what he's looking forward to. Can Opix, one position ahead, survive elimination yet again? That would be insane. Those are the crazy ones. I want a stat at that, at the end of the night. See how many finishes each driver had like one position out of losing a life. That would be a nice stat. I would love to see that here at the end. That's part of why I'm keeping the results. That's the stat that I'm really interested in. Because that, I think, is one of the most important ones. Ah, Real Deal conking the jump that time. Looks like Slaunch is actually potentially looking for a solid second place finish here. Oh, Real Deal just making mistakes here, but again, just needs to hold on to third. Another lap down. Luke's gap looking pretty solid. Slaunch's gap now looking pretty solid. And honestly, even Opix in fourth, it's going to take something crazy for Vulcan to catch up. You can see he's running that inside. He's really trying everything he can to gain time on him. But Opix seems to be opting for the consistency here. And so far, it seems to be paying off. He's actually slightly, lap after lap, increasing that gap on Vulcan and trying to clutch up with another fourth place finish, which again, nothing to be ashamed about with getting fourth place. In fact, I wouldn't even care. Like, if you finish ahead of the guy to lose a life, that's perfect. That's exactly where you want to finish. Surprised at how spread out this has gotten and how relatively clean it's been. Maybe this next heat will be different, but very impressed by how well the drivers in this heat have adapted to the track. I mean, this was a pretty stacked heat, though, for a go-kart track for sure. Another lap down. Still more to go. Front two gap is just insane at this point. Real Deal and Opix, still some potential there. Vulcan, I think, his lines are paying off. He's gaining on Opix now. I think the tides have turned to where he's starting to make up some time. But again, Opix has such a gap. This is going to be really tough for Vulcan. He's got to be risking it for the biscuit in every single corner. As we can see, I think this may be the final lap here, so let's watch the finish. I think we might be on the final lap. If we're not, this is the final lap. Oh yeah, definitely. So Luke's going to take the win there. Second win of the night. A second place for Slaunch. Not losing a life this time. Real Deal taking third. Another podium in the bag. Opix fourth. Another finish right outside of losing a life. And if you're Opix, can't be too mad with that. So, probably not the results that he's wanted these last two races. Probably a little close. But, at the end of the day, not losing any lives, so not too bad. Get the results down. There we go. Alright. It's a pretty solid first heat there. Surprised at how clean it was. Ah, whoops. I already almost drank my whole cup of water already. Jeez. Alright. So here we go. We're going to have, in the second heat, let's see, who's in jeopardy. We actually got it split up this time for once. Hunter is on his last life, starting up front. Phil, on his last life as well. This is going to be, oh, this is the potential elimination heat then. We only had Slaunch in the last one. This one's going to be interesting. Both drivers on the brink of elimination starting up front. Roman in third, Ump in fourth. Oh, what? This heat is insane. 3 drivers on the brink of elimination in this heat. Remember, Roman in third, Ump in fourth, Detail in fifth. So Detail starting in the back again. Rough spot to start in a go-kart, but this one's a bit more open. You know, definitely a bit more open to passes here on this one. And Detail is generally pretty good at tracks like this, so I would say if I was Detail, I wouldn't be as worried here compared to the last track. See how crazy the start is. And Detail, oh, that's a decent case. Ump in the wall already. Oh, this is going to have to be a comeback for Ump. In last early on, could we see an early tourney exit? Yep, I got it ready. And let's see. Oh, Hunter and Phil both messing up. Oh my goodness. We have the 3 drivers on the brink of elimination. This is what you love to see. All 3 of those drivers are in the back 3. Roman and Detail have already made their way up to first and second. Oh, Phil and Ump getting into it right there. Phil almost going in the pit road. You can tell neither of these two drivers want to lose this spot. And I'm sure Hunter there in third does not either. They do not want to be out this early. This is going to be great. This is what you love to see. You love to see three drivers on the brink of elimination in these back three spots. You did not want to see them in the top three. It's like, meh, that's dumb. This is what you want to see. Can Ump bring it back after a rough start to this race? Can Phil hold on? Can Hunter hold on? And we have Roman and Detail at the front, which may even be a good battle for that. So a lot to watch here in this heat. Ooh, Phil with another mistake. Ump comes in hot, not losing that opportunity. Takes, I was going to say the lead, but takes the advantage there over Phil. And now Ump is right outside of that elimination position, and this is unfortunate for Phil. He may even be, it's probably getting in his head at this point. He knows that this is probably his tourney exit. Can he make some sort of miracle happen and knock out Ump instead? Or even Hunter. Who knows? But Hunter seems to, compared to the last GK, seems to have settled out a little bit. Phil's still relatively close to Ump. Not outside the realm of possibility yet. Let's see if this works out nicely. Going into the cave. As, there it is, Roman in Detail. Going to be exiting the cave. And look at this. Roman in Detail, we may even see a battle here for first and second. Pretty much bragging rights at that point. Remember, Roman, off the top of my head, I don't think he's won a moto yet in this Elim tourney. Detail did win Goaty. Looking for a second here on another GP track. I mean, this one's a GK, but you know. And 2 wins this early in would be a pretty good statement for Detail going into later in the tourney. And look at this. The gap has stretched. This is not looking good. This may be it for Phil. Get the Survivor ready. Oh, if he cases this, I had a feeling he was going to case it. Oh, man. Ump is starting to get into a groove. This is not looking good for Phil. That was nice. That was a really good run. Ran that pretty much perfect. But again, is it too little too late? We've also got to watch this battle for the lead. This battle for the lead is heating up. Ooh, close. Detail backs out of it. Probably a wise decision. But then he's able to get a better run. Gets right back on his bumper. Oh, no. Side by side. Here it is. Well ran out of both drivers. Roman trying to get any inch of speed he can on that outside. Inch of speed, LOL. Oh, look at this. Roman, the oval turn, not able to make the outside work, but right there. A turn where I usually did not expect the banking to play that much of a role, but he makes it work. Works Detail around the outside and keeps this battle going. Love to see that. Great racing so far. And look at this. This lead battle continues. Keep an eye on the back, though. We'll have it in view. There's Ump. Where is Phil? Hasn't even exited. There's Phil exiting the cave. This is not looking good. This is not looking good. Oh, Detail with a nice chicane run that time. He's definitely going to gain some time, but not the type of run where he can make a move happen right after. Getting close to the end of the race here, I believe. And this is just getting nuts. Detail and Roman keeping the lead battle interesting. Not conking position. Just trying to make it a good battle. Side by side yet again. Detail even could work the outside this time. He's keeping it close. Not the preferred line there, though. But still, just keeping it close with Roman. Keeping him on his heels. Oh, a big move. And now side by side. Detail and Roman. Just making this battle amazing. Aw, Roman with the pole contact. That's unfortunate. That might be it. Just goes for it in the chicane there. Just making all sorts of contact. That might be it for Roman there. Unfortunate because that was pretty sick. That was probably the best lead battles so far. Just best battle so far. Aw, Phil, you conk. And Phil just accepts it there. Get the survivor ready. Come into the line. It's going to be Detail, Roman. I believe Hunter and Ump. And there it is. There it is. Pour one out for Phil, boys. He is now out of the elimination tourney. But I'm not going to be the one to say it.
Be the tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go. All right. Goodbye.
Bye, Phil. That one was intense. That was really dramatic.